President, did you sign off on Todd Blanche rescinding?
I didn't look at it. All I know is that Todd Blanche is great. He's going to do a great job. Everybody knows it. And I understand there's been a sign-off, but I don't know what they agreed. I think Todd Blanche agreed to reconfirm things that he's already said, and what he said was okay.
But this morning, there are concerns about legal loopholes the president could use to restore that taxpayer fund of nearly $1.8 billion.
It's Ken Harbaugh with the MeidasTouch Network. If you think that Donald Trump's J6 slush fund is over just because Todd Blanche promised to end it, I've got an election to sell you, because Donald Trump will stop at nothing to see this through. As we've said here before, this anti-weaponization fund is not about so-called justice for the so-called victims of January 6th. We're talking about the rioters who beat cops. It's about the next election and guaranteeing that Trump has his mob ready and waiting should he need them again. So even though the J6 hedge fund as a formal legal entity appears dead, the mechanism for paying out the insurrectionists hasn't gone away. The funds can simply be rerouted through ordinary DOJ settlement channels, like the Judgment Fund and the Torts branch. The two Republican holdouts on Todd Blanche's confirmation, Thom Tillis and John Cornyn, know this, but their fear of Donald Trump outweighed whatever integrity they had left. So they're voting to confirm. The fact that this supposedly represents what bravery looks like in the Republican Party says a lot. It's not a party, it's a cult. And we need to be ready for what Trump is preparing after he loses the next election. I spoke with Kris Goldsmith about this. He's an Army combat vet and extremism researcher, and he knows better than anybody the groups at the heart of America's insurrectionist movement. We talked about why this moment is so dangerous, even though the J6 fund is supposedly dead, and what his organization, Veterans Fighting Fascism, is planning to do about it. Quick tech note, we had a brief audio issue halfway through, but quickly fixed it. Apologies for the sound quality in that segment. Here's our conversation. Kris, thanks for joining me today. New developments in the Todd Blanche saga. It's been a constant back and forth between him, the president, and John Cornyn and Thom Tillis, who have been the holdouts on his confirmation. Bring us up to speed, because the elephant in the room is Donald Trump, his total disregard for the law, and the reality that he's going to do whatever he wants, regardless of what is written down on paper.
So Thom Tillis and John Cornyn both lost their primaries for the Republican nomination for their Senate seats. So they're both retiring. They have nothing left to lose as far as the Senate is concerned. And Donald Trump seems to have this circular logic, like they're saying that we don't want this insurrection fund, so we're not going to confirm your personal attorney to be the Attorney General of the United States. And he's saying, well, if you're not going to confirm him, then I'm going to push forward with my fund. And it's like, well, you're clearly going to push forward with the fund anyway. So this is a message that Americans should hear. And that is that no matter what, Donald Trump wants his personal attorney to be the chief law enforcement officer of the land, someone who appears to be willing to stop at nothing to make Donald Trump's fantasies a reality. And the president of the United States wants to spend $2 billion on his proven insurrectionist army. And the way that the math breaks down here is that it would make every single January 6th insurrectionist who was charged a millionaire. Imagine what all of those people, 1,600 of them, could do with $1 million. That's, it's not just buy weapons, it's buy vehicles, it's buy all sorts of equipment. And when Donald Trump calls upon them again,
Drones.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about drones on this show.
Right. And when and they can pay staff, right? They don't have to necessarily be good leaders, but if they can pay staff and they can arm them too, that's tremendous. The damage that could be done by 1,600 millionaire insurrectionists is incalculable. And Donald Trump knows that. And so does Thom Tillis and John Cornyn.
And it's a signal to the tens of thousands of others. I mean, you know full well the ranks of the Proud Boys and the Three Percenters and Patriot Front and others. I mean, this slush fund is far less about reparations and compensating people for supposed injuries than it is about a signal to stand back and stand by for the next one. I want to dive down into that and what we're doing to prepare, but I don't want to gloss over Todd Blanche and just how deeply unqualified he is. It's not just this slush fund that other senators are objecting to. It's the fact that he met with Ghislaine Maxwell and sent her to a Camp Fed. It's the fact that he continues to denigrate the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, there is nothing in his resume that qualifies him for this. There are a million things that disqualify him, including him saying under oath in the Senate that he is Donald Trump's personal lawyer.
Are you and President Trump friends?
I'm his lawyer, was his lawyer.
Slip of the tongue, probably, but that's where his head is. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And that's important to talk about. He is the man who is chiefly responsible for the Epstein cover-up right now, for all of the inappropriate redactions, plus the revelations of victims' names and personal information that has allowed, MAGA to terrorize them after they've already, obviously been traumatized as children. Todd Blanche should be held responsible for these things. He should not be rewarded with the chief law enforcement position in the United States. That is absolutely repulsive.
A quick word before we continue. A lot of people in this audience spent their lives showing up for their families, their communities, their country. Medicare is one of the benefits you earned by doing that. But earning it and actually getting it right are two different things. The system is complicated, and too many of the people offering guidance are paid more to place you in certain plans. The result is predictable. Millions of people quietly overpaying or missing coverage they need. Chapter fixes that. They're the only Medicare advisor that compares every plan in the country. And they're honest. They're not paid to steer you toward any particular plan, so their only job is finding what fits your life. If you're already on the right plan, they'll confirm it, and you're done. It's free, it takes under 20 minutes, and they've saved people an average of $1,100 a year. If you're on Medicare or helping a parent with it, call Chapter at 765-417-4729. You earn this. Make sure you're getting it. That's 765-417-4729 to talk to Chapter. Hey, it's Ken. Quick break to let you know that I am heading back to Ukraine soon. So many of you stepped up to help the 34th Marine Brigade, the unit I've been embedding with the past couple years. They desperately needed a new motor for their rescue boat, and you came through. Thank you. There are so many other urgent needs, though. This unit is the one at the heart of the MeidasTouch and Valor Media film Drone Hunters of Kherson, and they're the ones defending that city every day against nonstop Russian drone attacks against civilians. I have seen them in action. I've been on patrol with them. This is actually the wreckage of a Russian suicide drone shot down by one of those teams. I've even been pinned down in a bunker with them as wave after wave of Russian drones hammered our frontline position. But because of the extraordinary heroism of people like Adama, commander of a drone team I embedded with, Ukraine will win this war. The more help they get, the faster that can happen. Units like the 34th are constantly having to make do with whatever equipment they can scrape together, which is especially challenging for a unit that operates attack drone teams, river assault crews, counter drone patrols. The 34th does it all. If you participated in the first fundraiser we held, thank you. I've just launched another one. This time, we're not capping the goal, which we hit practically overnight last time. If you can help out, please click the link in the show notes. Your support will save lives. Thank you.
We both know what's going to happen after November 3rd, the midterm elections. There's going to be a blue wave. It's all but inevitable. Trump is already doing everything he can to prevent that, including putting the pieces in place to intimidate voters. Voters are not going to be intimidated. There's going to be a massive rebuke of MAGA and Trump himself. And then he's going to call out his goons, his legal henchmen, and his Proud Boys and 3%ers, and God help us, maybe ICE, maybe the National Guard. And we need to send and be ready to send a powerful signal that we remain a democracy and the results of elections, even if they don't go your way, need to be upheld. What are you planning for?
That is precisely why we are planning the Veterans Day Democracy March. on November 11th, 2026, we are going to descend. This is thousands of veterans, military family members, hopefully some service members, and all of our supporters. I want to make absolutely crystal clear that civilians of all kinds are welcome to join with us, and not just welcome. We want them to. We want this crowd to be tremendous, and we are going to be going there under 3 points of unity. One is that the voters decide and the results stand. Number two is that no one is above the Constitution. No president, no Supreme Court justice, no member of Congress, senator, or you name it. No one is above the Constitution. And number three is keep faith with those who serve. Now, let's break those down. The voters decide, the results stand. We have seen since 2016 Donald Trump talking about stolen elections, people voting illegally. He's been promoting all of these conspiracy theories, which I think it's wrong to say are unfounded. It is antithetical to the proof that we have seen, right? He is lying. He is spreading disinformation, not misinformation. He is purposefully spreading information that is false with a motive. That is the definition of disinformation. The second point of unity, no one is above the Constitution. That includes not just, government officials like the president, senators, members of Congress. It also includes members of ICE. It includes members of the National Guard who may be called up to follow illegal orders. Everyone in the United States has a duty to reject illegal orders. Anyone in the federal government who is told to do things like seize ballots or voting machines to interfere with the lawful results of elections, that is an illegal order, and they are duty bound to reject those orders. And third, keep faith with those who serve. That means not just veterans who deserve the benefits that we were promised when we were serving in uniform, but it also has to do with people who are serving today. Over the last few months, we have seen a tremendous fight, especially in the House Committee on Veterans Affairs, where the Republicans are trying to strip today's service members of their future benefits to pay for today's veterans' benefits, right? That's just one issue. We're also talking about keep faith with those who serve, throughout the federal government. We have had State Department employees getting, pushed out, fired, retaliated against. USAID was completely destroyed by a private citizen, Elon Musk, who did so with cruelty, and it has led to the deaths of something like 700,000 people around the world. We want for the United States to keep faith with all of those who serve, because that is not just the right thing to do. It's not just about morals and integrity. It's about our national security. If we don't keep faith with those who serve, who right now, what kid growing up is going to look at service, whether it's in uniform or other parts of the government, look at that as a good idea. We want to make sure that we protect those who protect us.
I think we'll also be able to draw an incredibly sharp contrast in just the manner of our conduct on that day with the insurrectionists of J6, to bring this full circle, that Trump is spending so much political energy defending. This is going to be a peaceful march. It's going to be a legal march, and it's going to be an expression of democracy and this notion that we will abide our oaths even after we have stopped wearing the uniform. Mm-hmm. Contrasted with the insurrectionists who beat cops, who tried to undermine democracy. That's going to be a powerful side by side.
Yeah, we are going to be fully coordinating with law enforcement as required. We are going to be getting the required permits. I want to encourage people to think of this not just as an angry protest, right? There's a lot of anger, obviously, as Donald Trump and his goons try to erode our democracy. But people should also go there and plan to have some fun, right? It's too early for us to talk about who's going to be on stage. But I can promise folks that part of resistance is still having a good time.
Joy.
You have to show the fascists that despite everything that they're doing, you still have a fulfilling life. And that is a big part of the reason that we're bringing people down to Washington, D.C. on Veterans Day, which is a federal holiday. So if you're watching this, you don't have to be a veteran. Everyone watching this, I want you to plan to take off work, whether you get it off for the federal holiday or not. Plan to be in D.C. the night before, the night after, whatever it requires of you to travel there. Make sure that you are bringing your friends. And if you want to support us, go to veteransfightingfascism.org. There you can sign up to get news and updates about this as it develops. You can donate. We're going to have to pay for permits. We're going to have to pay for a stage. None of this is free. We do have to pay for things like porta potties, right? There are a lot of things that you have to pay for to hold an event. So anyone who wants to support us, can do so virtually, online, or in person, not just on Veterans Day, but leading up to it. If you are someone who is online at all, you don't have to be a creator like Ken or I am making videos and stuff. Just posting and letting people know about this. Take screenshots of our website and post it on whatever social media you use to help us bring attention to this day, right? We want for this to be a movement. This is, yes, veteran-led, but it's not a veterans movement. It is for all Americans who care about our Constitution, the rule of law, and keeping promises to those who serve.
We'll put the link to the sign-up page, which I believe is the landing page of the Veterans Fighting Fascism website. That's below. Thanks, Kris. And we'll check in often about this until we need to march. Thanks, man.
Thanks a lot, brother.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.